I know the weight of that word, survivor, and I do not use it lightly. We use that word to describe people who have experienced brutal abuse and trauma, such as human trafficking, domestic violence, or catastrophic natural events. We call these people survivors, and rightfully so. Though I have not experienced anything so visibly traumatic, I too am a survivor. I have experienced a lifetime of harassment and trauma at the hands of shame. Today I want to tell you my story with shame, how it has tried to keep me in the shadows, how I learned to identify it, and how I am learning to let my true self shine through the shame. My hope is that my story will illuminate where shame might be hiding in your life, so that you too can live the bright and brilliant life you were meant to live. But first, some definitions. What is shame? Shame is the feeling that you're not good enough, that there's something wrong with you, that whether or not you've done something wrong, there's something about you that's inherently bad. And why does shame matter? Because shame disqualifies you. Shame is the voice telling you that you don't matter and what you have to offer doesn't matter, so you shouldn't even try. Because shame intimidates you. Shame makes you want to hide away and bury your gift and your dreams in the sand. Because shame isolates you. Shame makes you believe that you're not loved, that you're not valued, that it's not safe to show your true colors because you'll be rejected or abandoned. Simply put, shame wants to keep you in the dark, all alone, hidden away from the world. For some of you in this room, the feelings of shame may come and go, but for others, like it was for me, this may be a constant, daily, minute-by-minute battle. Shame was the loudest voice in my life. My story with shame started a long, long time ago, but I only learned to identify it a few years ago. I remember watching Brené Brown's TED Talk on shame, reading books and articles about it, and I just started to pay attention to the hundreds of tiny moments of my day when I felt uncomfortable or anxious or afraid. I would take a few steps back and I would ask myself, was that shame? Is that what shame feels like? And over and over and over again, the answer was yes. For example, there was one time when I was at work and I needed to ask for help. All I needed was a few more tables and chairs, but the idea of asking for help freaked me out. I found myself pacing back and forth and trying not to hyperventilate, trying not to cry, talking to myself. It's okay. You got this. This is not a big deal. All it is tables and chairs. You see, shame's message to me was that I was weak and a failure for needing to ask for help. And though this seems like such a small and trivial example, I had moments like that every single day of my life. Shame was literally ruining my life. Honestly, the fact that I am standing here on this stage is a miracle in and of itself. Shame has always tried to keep me silent. When I was a child, my sisters would talk for me because I had so much fear of speaking. I was afraid of saying the wrong thing or for being judged for what I said. Throughout school, I would feel the pressure to think through my sentences 10 times before I opened my mouth. If the moment passed me by, I would feel shame for not speaking up. And if I did speak up, I would still feel shame for saying too much, or for saying too little, or for thinking I could have said it better. Not only did I have a fear of being heard, I had a fear of being seen. I never wore makeup, I never took selfies. I always wore neutral colors because I didn't want to draw attention to myself. When people complimented me, I thought they were lying to my face because they felt bad for me. I didn't trust people. When people invited me to things, I thought they invited me because they felt bad for me, not because they really wanted me to be there. And when I was going through a hard time, I would just isolate and withdraw because I didn't believe anyone actually cared for me. So every single day, I put on a mask. On the outside, I looked like a very strong and successful, independent woman, but on the inside, I was a crumbling, dysfunctional mess, and it was only a matter of time before I started to break down. Once I started to identify shame in my life, I found myself spiraling into a deep, deep depression. Shame is self-perpetuating. The moment you identify that you feel ashamed for feeling ashamed, and on and on and on. It's a vicious cycle. So every day I would wake up with a cloud of despair hovering over my bed. Sometimes I couldn't get out of bed till 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I'd have to talk myself into leaving the house or going to work. I'd forget to eat, I'd forget to take showers. I was having emotional breakdowns every single day. Sometimes I would just burst into tears if anyone just looked at me. But it is right in that place that I started to heal. I don't think I could have healed if I hadn't reached such a low point. And how did I heal? Because I let myself be seen. I didn't do it on purpose. I think I had just lost my ability to function. So I did the one thing I knew how to do. I started to talk. I started going to counseling. I started to be more real about what I was going through with the people in my life. And these people showed up for me. They texted me, they called me, they brought me food, they made me leave my house. And the most powerful thing of all, they just sat with me while I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And as I took the mask off, as I let my guard down, as I let these people see me in my broken, vulnerable state, these people proved me wrong. They exposed the lies I believed all my life and proved to me just by being there with me, without judging me, that I am accepted just the way that I am. And that is how you heal from shame, by being real in safe relationships. If I had let these areas of shame stay hidden, they would have festered and eaten away at me. The only way for me to heal was to bring my true self out into the light. So this is what I have learned, that I am messier and more broken and more dysfunctional than I care to admit. But there is goodness and value within me that runs even deeper. There is a brightness and beauty within me that nothing can take away. So if you find yourself today in a battle with shame, I want to leave a few things with you. 1, practice being real with yourself. Healing starts right here. If you can't be real with yourself, you're never going to be real with anyone else. 2, fully accept whatever it is you find in your heart, the good and the bad. There's no dream too big, no negative feeling, nothing you've done that is worth 1 second of shame. I dare you to take a look into your heart and bravely accept whatever it is you find there. 3, start finding people you can trust. No one's perfect, but look for people who are safe and emotionally healthy, who've already proven to you that you can trust them in small things. Maybe a friend or a teacher, a counselor. There's no shame in going to counseling. Maybe even a parent. And 4, start being real with them. It's scary. There's always the risk that they'll betray your trust or you'll be rejected. But that's why you start with small things. And eventually, as you let your one true, vulnerable, broken and beautiful, messy and magnificent, bright and brilliant self be seen and accepted and loved, then you too can shine through the shame. Thank you.